Hey, welcome back. So we're getting ready to start the Stack of Doom here. We have the RCP, which is was a 3 and a 2. And I think I want to get some tokens for them. So let's do 125. Now the real question is am I buying a token for this or gonna buy one of these? Now I'm pretty sure that these tokens, they become stronger as the game goes on. Like, they start to they're good for like 2 spaces instead of 1. So 31. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, see, it remains open. That's a different topic. There it is. It reduces it by 1 for phases 2 through 6, and by 2 through 7 and 8. And then, of course, you can get those Port Authority markers, which reduce by 2 more. And they also affect laying tokens across. Okay, there we go. So, still only 1 for now. RCP has a 3 train and a 2 train. Now, we could try to lay... So let's think about this. Well, yeah, actually it's easy now, because we can go over the sea for a 2 train, and then do a couple of these. Then for the 3 train, we can do 1, 2, and over the sea as well. Now, track-wise, yeah, this is the only thing. And I just spent all this money. I can spend 45 more. What's crazy is the reason why I bought E is to make this cheaper. To lay that. We'll just run. We're just going to run. So, we have, for the 2 train, we have 20, 60, 100. And 150, 160, 200, 240. That's not a bad haul. Not a bad haul at all. Okay. Hit his number. Boy, this is going to be a nightmare moving all these. Alright. LRZD. So we got a token here. We're going to finally connect. here for 1. What does LRZD have? Mr. Lizard does have a 2 and a 3. So if we went 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 currently. And we still got to get through this too. So basically what we're saying is person's work is never done. Now if we could start bypassing some of these Y cities, we can make it a little more streamlined to get down to here, and maybe even plow through some water zones. How do I want to do this? Because right now, I mean, he's got a good run. He's going to make decent money. We're just spending track points now. So we spent 1. We're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, that one's already... I don't have to spend money again. It's just... We are running out of these. So here we go. I just made it so he could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can he afford a token? He cannot. But man, he's got it. He's there. Alright, well, let's just run what we can run. I mean, we could even run this one up here, although I don't think that's worth anymore. No, we cannot. So 50, 100, 140, that's 3. We're going to go ahead and go through here, 180, 220, and then add 50 more, 270. That's a good run. There we go. Now he can afford it. Okay, very good run. Man, I need a better way to do this. Chin is next. I think Chin had this situation where he didn't have his 3 train yet. He does not. So track upgrade wise, he's good. We're going to buy his a token for him. And all he has is a 2+2. So that's 1, 2. So even with the token, he needs at least a 3 to get there. I mean, he's got an easy, one of the easiest paths ever. He just doesn't have the right train. But anyways, with a 2+2, that's 90, 100, 110. And he's going to pay 225. And unfortunately for him, with the 110, he's going to go backwards. He doesn't have the ability to stop it. So Chin goes backwards. That was unfortunate. MSP. So again, we could pay some track. He's stuck here, but he can go across stuff. He's only got the 2 trains still. So we're looking at 90. Oh my gosh. He's really limited. He's only going to be able to get 50, 90, 100. We're going to pay the 20. He's got to get a token out. I mean, it doesn't help him. It's still 50, 90, 100. Which is very unfortunate. And then he's going to pay 225. They are paying me, right? They are. Okay. So the thing that stinks here is this. And actually, you know what he could have done? He could have... We can do this. So let's... We don't need to keep it so separate. There we go. Now, no matter which side of this you're on, you can go wherever you need to go. So did I need this token to be here? No, I did not. I could have put it all the way down here, and I will. He's actually blocking. What do you think about this? I don't know if I want to block. MKB's not going to be able to do it. WW could, though. Although WW's got his own path. It's funny. All I need to do is connect over to this. And that's easier than trying to do this path. So, I think if MKB with his 2, yeah, there's no way. Okay, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. I will leave it as is. But MSP also went backwards. Because he only made 50, 90, 100. Yeah. Alright, SFAI. We finally get to upgrade this nonsense. Now it looks proper. So that was 4. But then we want to do this for 6. The issue with them is they gotta get a Paris connection. So if they can plow through these 2 mountains, they can then come through and get all the way through. I mean, right now they can connect to Constantinople, but they don't have the major city. So this was 4. That was 6. Yeah, this is going to require a much stronger and that's definitely, I don't think that's what I want. Private wise, they can, one company can ignore one town. So what I'm looking at is this, and this is a mess. We need to be able to bypass those towns. But man, oh man, you're looking at some expensive stuff to get across through. I mean, with the port, you could try to, yeah, it's just not. You can also try to go through this way, because there's a lot of 0-point ferries. So if you came down here and went across, you could do a bit of this, and then try to come out of here or go this way. I mean, technically you don't need this. You could have just come out of this sea zone and go there. Yeah, whatever it is, I can't do it now. And I forgot. I did remember when I went to sleep last night, BHB needs to buy this, because anybody, including this guy, can now go along here and put a token on Berlin, and BHP is not going to allow that. I mean, it's 20 bucks. So back during his turn, he would have blocked this off. So the British just have to figure out another way to get through. Which is going to be challenging. Okay, getting back to SFAI, we can include this. He has a 2 and a 3 train. So I'll spend the 20 bucks. Because yeah, he would absolutely put a token right here. But what he still can do is put a token here. He's going to do that. So now with his 3 train, he can go... Oh man, that just totally blocked Pob. Yeah, it did. So he's going 60, 100 for 2, 120, still the 2 plus 2, but he's going to chain them. He's going to do 130, 140, 150 for his 3 train. Oh my gosh, there's nobody else to, no other cities to stop at. He'll spend the 1, he'll lose that. And go here. Yeah. Alright, so let's do this again. 60, 100, 110, 120, 140, 150, 160, 210, plus 30 is 240, and he just did his first OE run. Done, done, done. So SFAI is going to go 1, 2. Oh, we got another. So far, these two. Traffic jam's clearing up a little bit. But yeah, we got another OE run in. 1 second. Okay. To continue. Now we're going to do SFR, so the other one. And unfortunately, by doing this, he blocked SFR from being able to do the same thing. And there's no city. I mean, we could theoretically go from Berlin, and if I plow through here, SFR can put a token down here and accomplish it. Or, like we said, try to plow this way so we could have the Paris route. Heck, the Paris route can even go through Naples. There's multiple things to do. This one is an expensive plow. I would possibly need to replace that with one of these, which we do have. Like, we have 6 of those. It's not going to be helpful. The other one, though, I could use, and it's like the chicken foot, so I can point here, here, and here. I mean, we're talking... It's 180 plus 60. Oh my gosh, that's like... You're paying 240 to go through those mountains to have that. I think it's cheaper to just plow down here and pop a token. So let's do that. I'm assuming he has $30. That's 3 track points right there. And then, if you look at this, what's it sitting on? So, I know it's a little, there's 105, but Levant is a very high-paying location. So we're at 30, and if you can afford another 105, let's look at SFR. Where are you? Yeah, so let's pay 135. Oh, 155. Because we want to place a token as well. I mean, that was a lot of... Oh, no. Okay, but we'll at least place token. Because that's going to guarantee a great run. And then... he just did this. And that. I mean, with a 2-2, I can do it. I have a Berlin all the way to here with a 2. Oh my gosh, what a run. So, 60 and 50 is 110, and 30 is 140, 150, 160. 160 is enough to move it up. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, in fact. So 160, pay full. 225. Get yourself a 3 train and an OE token. Okay, next up is Bell. Bell's along with the Brits. He wants to help get a Paris thing going. So the issue is, this is already upgraded, and it's not helping them connect. So even if they try to go around, this will block them. So their only hope is to go down through here, through this, and then up. So 2 points, 3 points, 4 or 5 points, and then maybe a 6 point there. So yet another one of these. And this. Uh-oh. There's no way to get through this. So then you're going to have to go around and then cut through here. But that's all the points he can spend. So Bell only has a 2 train. Well, the good news is he's going to do well here. So there's 120. It's enough for Bell to move up. Okay, so Bell gonna pay 120, and then pay 225. Get himself a train. Alright, who's next? SB. I mean, we're in a spot now where, I mean, this is just so freaking awesome. But we can see, we need to bypass, SB needs to bypass as well, because KISS is blocking Berlin. So he also needs to get up through here. So this is 2. This is 4. And then $30 for 6 or 5. So can he pay the $30? Oh yes, he can. Alright, so we want one of these doodads, one of those, and then we need a propeller. Perfecto. So he happens to have the mountain tile. If I use it, I don't have to pay the $30, and I can force someone else to pay the $30 to unlock this, which is not a bad strategy, but if I do, I lose the $25 an operating round of income. So I'm holding on to this last one so I can just keep making 25 bucks. And I just realized something. for my run, I'm supposed to put this down somewhere. And I have not been doing so. And how was I going to do this again? I'm doing the whole port to here thing. And then I'm getting stuck because this is now blocked. So that blocked me, which was not very helpful, but there's ways we can brute force our way through it. It's just not going to be fun. The question is there any of these mountains? I don't think any of this is, but down here there is, so I'm putting one of these, for example, right there. So now I can get the extra income anytime I come through here. The problem is I just got to be able to come through here. But let's go back to SB's turn. So he's going to do 1 for 60, 2 for 100, 3 for 150, 4 for 190, and then 5 for 240, 270, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 320. Wow, that's a really great run. Alright, and then he also did a run, and SB is moving up 1, 2, 3, and joining the crowd. I hate this. It's a Leaning Tower of Pisa there. He's rolling in some money. Do we buy a train? I know if my friends were here, he would, because they're going to try to force a rust to make everybody else suffer. But part of the reason why I don't buy trains when I'm doing okay is I save my money because these other trains are more expensive, and I want to be able to afford the later trains and not waste money on cheaper trains that are also going to rust. The 3 trains do rust, just later. And it rusts when a 6 comes out. Which may seem like it's far away, but it's not. Alright, so I'm going to just keep the money for now. Now, if I'm planning on going national, I got to think a little differently, because you want to dump your money. And when you've done a OE run like this, you are now a candidate to go national, because you've already delivered your OE, you got your 3 stock bump, so now you could just switch to national and roll with the money. So then you want to just like say, hey, I'll buy your 2 train, and I'll give you $549 for it. And that's the kind of stuff you're going to want to do. Okay, I don't want to do anything else with this one. So we are done with all of that. Now we're looking at this here, and Pub got blocked. Just like we got blocked. So Pub is actually going to help us, because he's going to have to help himself. We're upgrading both of these. Actually, he's not helping us at all. Well, he's helping us a little. So pub has the bypass in, then we would have to put in our own bypass here. But basically, where is pub? He's only got a 2 train, but that's all he needs. Because he's going to do 60, 50 for 110, 140, 150, 160. He's going to do a 160 run. He's going to pay 225. Get himself a train. And he just bumped 3. And don't forget his OE token. Okay. MZA. Man. He needs one of those southern tokens, but we won't buy it yet. He only has a 2-2. We can now at least get one whistle stop in. So we're looking at 50, 90, 100 for his run. Spend the money. Get himself his 3 train. And we got to look at his stock situation. He only made 100, so he's going backwards. MIDI only has a 2 train, but does have this. MIDI's in a similar strange spot. With his token, though, he can do a London to here, and with the right stuff, maybe plow his way into an OE run. Gosh darn it, it's a very difficult path. You could even try to go maybe this way. This would be cheaper, and connect up here and get into this nonsense. He's got a couple barriers. Obviously this town is a barrier for him. He doesn't have any privates to help him. But let's try. First one, let's upgrade this. For 2. 3. 'So if I made that a curve, that'd be 4, and then I could do 5, 6, and connect into here. Because MIDI currently only has a 2 train. So I'm going to do this for 4, this for 5, and come up here for 6, and then connect there. I also need to get around this city possibly, but with a 2 train, can we put a token down somewhere? The answer is yes. I can block off D here. I think, well, see, I would say that's the right move, except the New York run is a good run. I'm getting 60, 90 if I go here, whereas if I do this, I'm only getting 80, but I do get the whistle stops, so that's 100. There's no whistle stops unless I can bypass this. So, and I'm going to be able to afford I can. Sorry if I feel like I'm mumbling. I was trying to say I need to be able to afford a train, but I am. I'm going to put a MIDI here so I can run for 100. Alright, so in doing so, I can now pay $225. I mean, we're going to drain these trains naturally here. And I only made $100. So MIDI is going backwards. MKV, I think, only has a 2 train, but he has money. And he can afford to, I mean, you could theoretically make it so this could do a 1, 2, and 3. But I think I like the idea of connecting here. So it's just a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to miss the connection. One, 2, 3, 4. Close. But he only has a 2 train anyways, so he can run. Why don't we put a token? Well, we can put a token right here. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. He's going to pay $20. We'll put a token up here in St. Petersburg, and then we're going to run a 50, 100, 120 run. Then spend the 225 for his train. The 120 run definitely moves him up. And he bought the last 3 train. Okay, so now things are getting interesting. The 2 trains are going to rest, and it's going to cause all of the miners to be unproductive. And my hesitation to buy a new train is now gone. So if you have the money, you buy the train. Now you got to be mindful. Are you going to hurt yourself and all this other stuff along the way? And our strategy is bad because we failed to do an OE run. So I wanted BJV or DSJ to do their OE run so one of them could go national. And I don't know if I'm going to pull that off. Although we are getting close to BJV being able to run. He's right after WW here. But I think WW has enough money to buy that train. Ooh, he does not. So it is WW's turn, and WW has an OE run with a 1-2-3 train, and then he also can run a 2 train somehow. Ooh. He's gonna have to put a token somewhere. Yeah, he's gonna just put one down there. So that is gonna spend some of his money and make it probably so he won't buy a train. But that's okay. It's the best 20 bucks he ever spent. So he's taking the Constantinople spot. And is he going to upgrade any track? Great question. WW is a part of the Russian network, so he's going to help his other companies by doing this. One. So that's 2. And he can continue to help him. One thing that might want to do is bypass Moscow, although Moscow pays really well. This is another one worth. So that would be 6 points. And then one of these. And so, I mean, it's your choice. You can hit the city or you can bypass it if you have a lower train count. But WW is on a roll. So we got 60, 100, and then we're going to do 10, 20, 30, right? So 130, 180, 210. That's the 3 train. And then 260, 310 for the 2 train. The only thing missing are the whistle stops down here. But 310 is a great run for WW. And he hit the precious OE. He just made a crap ton of money too. How much is that next train? 350. He could buy it. Ooh. Alright, I'll think about that later. WW is moving up 1, 2, 3. That is one of the drawbacks, because if he would have just moved up 1, he would have been able to sell his shares. Make a lot of money. Okay, there's 2 ways to look at this. If I buy the 4 train, I'm going to cause all the 2s to melt. It will hurt this one a little bit. The other way to look at it, because right now this guy is set to go national. So if I buy the 4 train, that 4 train is actually going to be on the national. And he will have spent almost all of his money, so he won't lose much. It would work. The other strategy is hey, the 2s are going to rust anyways, so I'm going to buy this 2 from you and give you all my money, so then that money can go into one of the 3 other trains. That's the other way to look at it. Because they're going to lose their 2 trains, and they're going to need a 4, so we can give that 384 bucks to one of them, because they'll merge with this and get that money. That's the 2 ways to look at it. If I take the 4 train now, I am going to screw other people. You could argue that it's screwing me. It's definitely going to screw KISS. KISS doesn't even have enough money to buy a train. So it's definitely going to hurt him. It'll hurt OU, who also doesn't have enough to buy a train. So those two would get hurt really bad. Man, like extremely bad. And the reason they're getting hurt is because they're so late in the turn process. I mean, you could argue, hey, you're winning the game, so let's screw you over. See, this is where when you're playing solo, I don't know what the player would do. Honestly, I think the better strategy, besides just trying to hurt somebody, is to help yourself. So I am going to buy this. Okay, 384. I mean, you could argue, why aren't you just buying one of these other ones? That's a good point. Let's just pick the company we want to buy from. We'll buy from MSP. Give him 384. And zero him out. Yes, this would have absolutely hurt me to a very rotten core, to be quite honest. But this was very good though, because it's setting him up to be able to buy a higher train and to have actual money to do things. I probably should have bought. Yeah, see, we have most of our shares of MSP. I did the right one. I should have bought shares of this, because you want to own all the shares of your national. But anyways, he did well. The only thing is, that's different is if he was on the shelf, we could have sold all these shares to the market, made a crap ton of money, and then given all that to whoever we bought the trains from. We still can, actually. So the sell shares to the market, though, is at the it's after you can buy trains from other people. So I can't sell these shares to the market. I would put a massive amount of money in here, but I have to wait until the next operating round to buy the trains, and it's just not going to happen. So I'm going to have to end it there, and then like BJV gets to go. So we got, this situation and this. So I have to how do I do this? That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Or no, that does work. I don't care about the ferry. So 2, 4, 5, 6. So I did all that, but do I even... Yes, I do have the room. So I have a 3, 2. So if I start here, it's 1, 2. I need to... That would be 3. And then 1. 2. So I can do it. I need to put a token up here, and I think BJV can afford it. Oh yeah. So we're going to put a $40 token here. And then it's going to be over 1 C zone, so it's another $40. So he's going to pay 80 to do that. And then we got our 3 plus 2. So we have 60, 100, 160, and then 190. Then the 2 is 40 for 230, 240, 250, or 250, 300, 330. Pay in full. Okay, now this one is where it also gets interesting, because like for me, I have 2 other companies hurting bad. And I need to buy, you know, stuff from them. I could clearly cause the trains to melt, but I'm only hurting myself, because the person who goes after me is OU, and the person that goes after that is KISS. Now, one of these two needs to buy, they both need to buy upgraded trains, so one of them is going to cause the other to melt and be stuck, unfortunately. So we're going to cause one of them to be in trouble, and I can't like give my train to him. All I can do is have him buy a train from me. Which means they're going to have an operating round where they're going to go backwards. That's the dilemma I'm in. The worst thing I could do is melt the trains now and hurt both of them. I think I can at least save one of them. And the other one, I can at least buy the train that is going to melt anyways, and it's going to be this KISS here. So let's look at this. OU is going right after us, so we're in control. But then KBS is going to go, and KBS could cause the train melt. But OU is going to cause the train melt. Why? Because OU only has a level 2 train. But I could have OU buy a level 3 train from someone else and save the melt. So let's look at the KBS situation. KBS is sitting on not enough money, but it is going to get to do an OE run. It'll probably make decent money, but they're in a better situation. They very likely could cause it to happen. I mean, he needs to make quite a bit. He may not make enough, but I don't know exactly how that's going to work out. So I could take OU's turn and buy a 3 train from DJV, for example. So then he'll be saved. So then we got KSS here, who's in trouble. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to buy the 2 train from DJV for everything I got. Because he's definitely not going to get to use that 2 train ever again. So that's done. And then BJV also is going to get the 3 bump. 1, 2, 3. Same situation as WW. No need to sell the stocks. It's not going to do any good. So we are intentionally not melting the trains because I know I go next. So OU is in trouble. He does have the Paris connection. He has the London connection. He even has this. So we're looking at replacing those for 4. So we could do London and come through here. With a 2 train. So OU is going to be able to do the run with the 2 train. My goodness, that's so awesome. So we're going to do 60. I need a token. I got to use a token. So I got to pay money to put a token in London. So we're going to go over here. That's going to be an extra 40 bucks. And that's another 40 bucks, so 80 bucks. Yeah, we're hurting in the money. I'm not even going to be able to bankrupt or melt the trains. But here we go. Okay, 60 all the way around. Remember, this lets me skip the city. That's 110. And then just pick any 2. Well, actually, this counts as a whistle stop, so 120. And then this one gives me an extra 20 for 140. So that means this guy has $10 extra. Alright, so 140, 170. Not enough to even buy a train. But he does do his OE run. Which helps. I'll throw that there. And I can still buy a 3 train. I can even buy this 3 train. Because BJV technically won't need it. But then I'm giving my money to, well, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to buy this 3 train for $1. I don't think it could be free, so you do have to pay something. There we go. So I also did not rust, and I might be able to save this company, but it all depends on what Kibbles and Bits does, because they're next. And this guy doesn't want the rust either. And with these guys having all their money, they could have easily buy another train. But yeah, he's in a world of hurt as well. But let's go to Kibbles and Bits. So Kibbles and Bits is down here. His issue is he needs a token along the route. And he can't get through KISS to put the token in Berlin. Now, we could do some shenanigans and put a token here and here so we can get in on the back way. And I think that is actually what he's going to do. Because we have the 2+2 train. But yeah, that's actually going to hurt us, but that's alright. That's how you play. So actually, does he have to do that? He can go from here. He just has to go through some cities, which he can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can get down there with a 4. And then he can't go through London. He can go through this because this is open. Yeah. So this is going to be Kiss's upgrade. Kibbles doesn't have to do that. But no, he does, because he has to put his token somewhere. He can put it here. That's what he'll do. KBS. I'm gonna pay $20. Put his token right there. Also bear in mind, this is another viable way. Or even here. Actually, he's going to do that. Because he can go... Well, this is 2 spaces away right now. We can go 1, 2, 3, and then make it a 4. He can go through this. Just plow through. This can happen right now. He pays the $30. Put his token here. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to pay the $30. So 1, 2, and then this is 3, 4. I know I put this in, but that's going to be KSS's turn. I just don't want to undo it because I'm going to come back and redo it anyways. Saves me some time. So now I have a direct connect to London. So 1, 2, and technically I only need a 3 train to get to here. And then with the 2 train, I can do this connection again, a second time, just like we can with anything else. So that actually works out better than him putting the token here. So here we got 60, 100, and then I can count these for 120. And then I got another 100 for 220, 230, 240, 250, 300, 330 for kibbles and bits. I forgot to pay the 30. So I can't do it that way. So 330, pay in full. And then he does have to pay the $30, which puts him just under. Now he could buy this one, but you don't want to do that. So he's sitting right at the cusp, but he's okay. He has the 3 train. He does get the OE bonus. And then that lets him bump up 1, 2, 3, like so. And we do get to take a turn. So I happen to have a 3 train here to bail him out. And we're going to be able to save all of our companies. But if I can do an OE run, I don't necessarily want to save this company. And I'll show you in a second. So we got a 2 train KSS. I am going to have to do this like we said, and then this, and then we're going to spend the $20. token there. Okay, so that puts me at 205. And then we're going to do the OE run. So we're going to do the 60, 110, 140, 150, and then this is 20 more for 170. That gets him to 324, and he's also going to bump 3. Okay, so yeah, we got to get the symbol, put that on for him. So he doesn't have enough to buy that train, but what he's going to do is he's going to buy this train, and 324. And then 324. He's going to give it to the miner. Actually, technically, he could have bought it from OU. Sure, let's do it that way. So he's going to spend the 324. We're going to get the 324 to OU. Well, OU could also become a national. Maybe it won't. So yeah, we'll buy the 2 train from OU. And there you go. So I'm setting this up to become a national. I set this one up, so I'm going to basically be creating 2 nationals. Then I'm going to have 2 majors, and we're going to have to merge. So that's how this is going to work. Okay. And we didn't trigger the rust yet, which is pretty cool. But now GSWR gets to go, and he's actually grateful that we didn't trigger the rust, because he will. He needs a better train, or he needs to do an OE run right now. GSWR is not in London. They're up here, and all they have is a 2 train. So I don't think there's any way conceivable that they can do a 2 run and get to here. Like, if they could buy a token down here, they would have been able to, but they can't. There is a Paris connection here. They could put a token in Paris. Oh, you know what? That is what they're going to do. We're going to do the run, so let's pay 40. I guess you can argue. So we're going to have to go. This is not a blocker. So we're going to have to pay another 40 to go over the port, because this is blocked from GSWR. He can't go through this, but he can go out the port. Yeah, he's going to have to spend another 40, which is getting him close to not being able to buy that train. But now he's going to do a 2 run. He's going to go Paris all the way down. So that's a 50 plus 20 more for 70, 80, 90, 100. That's a 150 run. Boy, he barely made it. But yeah, so he did his OE run. And he's going to take the 3 bump. And he's going to take from GWR. No, he can't do that. He's actually going to cause the melt. We are going to buy the 4 train for 350. And before he does that, he will buy this one for 30. Just to zero himself out. And then now we cause them out. So what happens is the game pauses immediately. And I'm pretty sure I remember this, but let's go through it. So it is the resting. Trains resting. Where would that be? Combining trains. Come on. It's not way back here. I'm just missing it. Maybe it's somewhere in the buy train section? Running multiple trains. Oh, come on. Is it under the game concepts? That's the only time the word rested is used? There we go. All lever 2 trains are obsolete. See 11.6.3. That's where I want to go. 11.6.3. Train phase changes, apparently, is what it's under. So, at the end of a by train step, in which a new train phase began, all rested railroads must discard any rested trains. Any trains that, excuse me, in excess of the new train's phase limit is also discarded. Okay, that's not all that happens. Forming a national, 22. I think you can choose to form a national whenever trains rest. Yeah, they can only be formed in 4, 6, and 8 the moment the purchase of a first train in that phase, because this is when the rust happens. Okay, so everybody loses their trains, and then we also can form a national. So the amount of trains that you can have once we get to train phase 4 drops to 3. I think we're okay. Nobody's going to be over that, and I'll be right back. Okay. So here we go. Basically, everybody loses their 2 train. And you go one player at a time. And say, are you forming any nationals? And the answer is, why, yes, I am. So, WW here we have a convert to national. So we're going to convert WW to national. So they get an automatic Pullman, as you can see. And they still have their 3 train. And then the train limit for a national is 4. So he's got the 1, and then he's going to go 2, 3, 4. He gets to max out his trains. And he has a Pullman. And it shows you all the cities that are possible and the connections that he can do that are possible. But you do have to have at least track connected to there, along with a tile laid. But he doesn't have to pay any money anymore. In fact, he never has money ever again. He's just going to make money and then pay out his shares. So if we have shares of this, we'll make money from it. But he's going to have all these trains, and he doesn't even have to run the trains. He just dots the map. So is he going to do any other ones? And the answer is no. We're just going to do the one. And I'm just going to go player to player, and we're going to do it like this. So I'm just going to take all the 2s away, and then we'll decide who's going national and give the 2s back if we need to. And the answer is yes. Plum's going to go national because that's the strategy. So they have 2 3 trains, which is fine. He can use the better trains. And then he only gets 2 of the 2+2 trains. And I probably should move so we get less interference. So that's how it works. And then, of course, these 2 are belly up at the moment. He doesn't need this token anymore. Doesn't do him any good. And the OE thing is fine. Doesn't matter. He still has that. So that was the strategy from the beginning, to have Plum do that. We got to get MIDI to be a little more meaty, because this company was actually doing really well. But it is what it is. That's how we want to do that. So then we're just going to bring our 2s with us, and then we're going to grab some more. And actually, Chin is going to be the one that goes national. I can already tell you. So let's go up here and go to convert to national. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And Chin was supposed to have... Oh, Chin did not do his run. He just bought the... Oh my goodness, so we didn't plan this well. I don't know if we wanted Chin to go national. Oh no. He just bought this so he could do his run. Chin is like... Yeah, because he even went backwards. Oh... None of them did their run. Oh, let's undo. Can I undo this or not? There it is. We're not going to go national. He needs the stock bumps. So you can go national again at phase 6. I will tell you, going national that late is less lucrative than doing it earlier because you get all these track points and it takes you a while to get your country built up so you can finally do the national stuff. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use the track points we have to help him when he does go national to not fall behind. All right, so nobody's going national for this. This is a interesting strategy, but the Chin doing the early OE run failed. Plum did it. He did not. And that, again, that was execution on my part. There's no reason why he should have failed. All right, so we got both of these have done OE runs. And they both are sitting on a good portion of money. So do I want one of them to go national? I can tell you that national is very lucrative for Italian companies. They make some good money. And this one has less overall money. So we're going to make SFR go national. So move it over. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, these are for sale now because we made it a train phase 4. So other companies can now buy these and M will generate the money. I also have a problem where he can only merge once per stock phase. So one of these companies is going to make no money at all because they can only merge once. I think that's how it works. Merging a miner, 24. Each miner has a special ability. You can merge a miner with an... Oh, excuse me. Man, sorry. You can merge a miner with a national, but you just got to be careful because sometimes the bonus doesn't help the national. However, may only merge with a miner in any given SR. We'll have to merge them into 2 or more different majors. So, for example, the Locomotive Works doesn't do the major or the national any good. So we're going to give the Locomotive Works to him, but I could give the Pullman Company to them. The problem is the Pullman Company, their ability is they make money. So, yeah, I don't want to give either of them to him. So we're going to have one of these just make no money for a whole round, and it's probably going to be this guy because there's no harm, no foul. He'll still make money for selling Pullmans. It's not going to make the player money. And then getting here, we want the GSWR. So 1, 2, 3, 4. convert him to a national. Man, my throat, I apologize. Now, you might be wondering, what else happens? When they become a national, they do lose all their money, but all their tokens go away as well. So the GSWR tokens that we placed are gone. And the same with, the SFRs. Those are gone. And you'll notice that 2 of the tokens went national. So Constantinople's open up again. So there's things like that happen as well. And I do give the script credit. He did a good job of cleaning all that up. Okay, so now it gets to us. And I'm going to have 2 nationals because I have to. KISS has to go national. I can't really go any other way. So his tokens are going away. And he has 1, 2, and then we'll make it 3 and 4. Then we're going to have BJV go national, and we were setting that up for a while here. So we have 2 nationals. I think it works. I mean, we had 4 majors, so that's okay. You sort of want to have at least 1 national when you play. I mean, can you play without nationals the whole game? Of course. The more nationals there are, the more the tokens, the train station tokens, disappear, and it makes the map cleaner to do train runs. And the less nationals there are, that means there's more clutter and more competition for those spots. So sometimes you're going to go national because you can't compete. Like the London got filled up. So rather than fighting for London, just go national. It's that kind of idea. So here we got an interesting thing. SB did its run, but MAV did not. So you don't want to go national with MAV. KBS is ready to go national, but he did buy a train. I gotta look at his situation. KBS actually has a nice token right here. This is gonna be a tough one. Should SB go national? Another tough question. I'm going to say yes. So we're going to take 3 and 4. We'll let, excuse me, KBS is going to keep running. And there it is. I didn't pay attention to how much money he had. Maybe that would have been a factor, but he's got 328 bucks. He can survive. And then last but not least, now this is hard. He's only got 2 companies. So to have one of them go national, now they are German companies. And we do have a German that did go national. So you can see here, there's 5 grand cities, 1 metropolis, 8 regular cities, and 18 towns. That's not a, it's not going to make that much money. I think he's got, this one's hurting a little bit, but we're going to keep them running. Okay, so these trains have rusted, and technically you put them sideways like this, and they're just available for any national that wants them. Now we move on to operating phase 2, because we did finish the round. We pay our weenies, and out of all these, none of them have trains except for him. And let's do a double check. No train. No. The K Company has a train. Yeah, the K Company is the only one that has a train. So that's the only one we're going to operate. Now, technically, they can all lay track. So, fine. Let's look at G. He gets 3 track points. I think we're fine. H, D. D gets to place the better one of these out. Where are you, D? So he's going to put out the 40, and he's going to put it in Paris. Or do we have a restriction? I don't think I can put it in a metropolis. Hold on a second. In any city on a map except a metropolis. Yeah. Alright, so we'll leave the 40 down here. Now, this is open, and the spiffy Brit could choose to close this. And he would give it to GWR, for example, because he only has 2 companies that need to come through here. Lawnmower already has one. He could give this to GWR, and then that would block OU, but OU's not blocked. It would block anybody else. Like, whoever has the A company would... I mean, they would at least have access to the port, but they wouldn't be able to go through there. So those are the things. So that's another decision that's made at phase 4. And I think I have to discard this. Any company can use the ferry, but only companies with a token in Lily may run through Lily. Yeah, so I don't know where the token disappeared to. There's one around here somewhere. Oh, I think you just placed one of your own tokens. Yeah, so GWR is going to take it and block Lily. So both of his companies can get through Lily. Nobody else can. But that's fine. I mean, we got these 2 companies are using the port to get through. There's other ways. And then you got Germany, you got Paris. I mean, there's other things to do OE runs. But anyways, it's the right strategy. There's no reason to leave it open. You only leave it open for your own companies, and both of his companies can get through. That's why he bought it. Okay, back to regular programming. AEF. I should be too quick to skip. Like F could lay track possibly. You know, to be honest, I think we're just going to jump straight to K. So K is here. He placed both of his tokens. He has a 3 train. So we're going to do, we're not to phase 5 yet, but we're going to do a 40. I can't go through this. Ugh. So K, how do I do a 3? I guess I could use, well, I could use this. So 40, 80, and 5 is 130, 140, 150, 160. And then the mail cart makes 40 more for 200. So he's going to pay half, which means he gets 100. Now, remember I said that we have to help the National? So the way the Nationals work is every city that has something, they get to count it. So they just, so for example, this is not covered, so they can't count that, but they could go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? They can just go through and count everything. The red ones that have Spain written on them also count. So if they have a 2 plus 2 train times 4, that means they have an 8 plus 8 that the National gets to do. So the National can come through and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's your 8 cities, right? So I technically don't need these other cities yet because I have, I can only do 8 of them. And then I get to do 8 whistle stops. This one counts as 20, but the rest of them, as long as I have 7 other ones covered, I just do, 70, 80, 90, and then boom, that's my revenue for a National. So what you want to do is you want to start at least covering and upgrading as much as you can. So like, for example, this one here, we can upgrade him. At the bare minimum. Because he's worth $10 more. Now, there is no National at all, but we're upgrading so that way when the National does come, he's going to have a lot more than an 8 plus 8 when he comes at phase 6. So we need a lot more of these city points covered. And as long as you don't have to pay to go over mountains, it's worth just helping. So for 2 track points, he did that. And then for 1 more, and the tracks don't need to go anywhere. You just need to cover. So that whistle stop now counts towards his total. These 2 we're not going to bother with because they cost us money. And if the National needs it, the National gets 9 track points. And it doesn't have to pay. It can just automatically place tiles. And the other cool thing about the National is they don't have to connect tracks either. They can just start at any city and then just start laying track from there. Now, they can't just go here and lay a track. But if they could start here and then lay these 2 tracks without ever connecting to this. So they could do that. Theoretically, they could also go, as long as there's a port, they can hop in, anyways. The other thing a National can do is help with this situation and pay that 45. So we were on K's turn. We took K's job. They're doing great. So they're all done. We got CM, BJ. So on M's turn, we can upgrade one of these. That just helps the Italian National. And then Jay's turn. He doesn't want to help us at all. So no need to do anything up there. Okay, all the minors are done. So now we do go through the majors and all the stuff we got to do there. So let's start with BHB. And BHB has done an OE run, and he has a 3 train. So he doesn't have to do an OE run. One of the things you want to look at is, should we buy a token down here? Always a possibility. BHB is in Germany. BHB so far still cannot do London because it requires 2 connections, but at phase 6 it will. So technically with a 3 train we can do a 1. I can't go through Berlin. So I can do a 1, 2, and since this is open I can do a 3. Yeah. So 50, 100, 130. I still get the bonus. 190. And then 200, 210, 220. Pay in full. He has $649. And the next train is 350. So he will buy one. Alright, one thing I'm not doing a good job, and I need to reevaluate before I move on to the next player, is when you start having big trains like this, you need more stations. Because, like, for example, this right now is just a 2 or a 3 route, right? But I need to also now do a 4 route. So how can I do that, starting from here? That's the stuff that you got to start considering. So we're connected to just about everything on the map. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 40 more. And I'm going to just put something in Moscow. So it allows me to just do some run over here in Russia. Yeah, this is a really good strategy. So now we can run multiple trains and they don't interfere with each other, because you can't reuse track, and these bigger trains need more space. So and then having the tokens allows you to run through them. I mean, people could still try to block you, but that's the way to go. We're going to have to do that a lot more often with every company. So now we have DSJ, and we haven't done an OE run yet. So we have 2 3+3s. Should be very easy to do. Even if because I still have a token here, so we could start down here. This is still open, so let's go. So this is 1 for 60, 2 for 100, 3, 160, 4 for 200, and then we take this, and we can actually do this here, but we're going to skip it and go 5 for 250, and then 6 for 300. Then that's 330, and this is a special one. Come on. Yeah, so 330 we said, that's 350, and there's plenty of whistle stops for, we need 5 more whistle stops. 350, that's 400. Wow, that's a good run, very good run. Okay, and we are limited to how many trains now? 3? so I can buy another train for 350. Oh, my dog is saying hi. I will do that. So now we're getting a 4 train. Okay. Sorry, my dog is now on my arm that I use my mouse with. She climbs up on the chair with me. Okay. Couple things I want to do. I want to lay a token, which should have been done before this, but trust me, it doesn't change the run that I just did. And then we need to adjust the stock, so we're going to jump 1, 2, 3. So we got a little bit of breathing room again. And yeah, so token, and I did get paid, right? Yes. The token we're going to do here is $40. And I want to do something like up here. So I'm going to put the token on that side. So that allows me to do a route where I go this way and then through Russia. I can't do London, but I can maybe start here and then go here and then up. So that'll be a good run. Okay, that one is done. Lawnmower is next. They have not done an OE run. They have a 3+3, and I keep forgetting they have a 1+1. So they are here. So they could do a 1, 2, and then bypass all the way down here for a 3, and then get that one for 4. So 60, 100. 150, 200, 230, and then 4 whistle stops for 270. Because remember, this is a 1+1. So 270. Pay in full. We are going to place a token somewhere. I just haven't figured out where yet. So give me a second on that. And we will buy a 4 train. And the token is going to be $40. So where are we going? I mean, we have good coverage here. This is actually not a bad idea to put this up here or even this here, so we can start bouncing at least to here. Another idea is to go into Paris maybe. We're not connected to Spain very well. This is another spot. Just go down here and do a Vienna run. The Russia ones are all decent. Like, we can plop ourselves in St. Petersburg. Only 1 train gets the bonus for going to here. So you don't always have to go to the primo spots for OE runs. Like, that's why the Vienna one actually looks attractive. So yeah, we'll put them in. I mean, heck, we could even go to Naples now, because it connects all the way through. So let's do that. We'll put them in Naples, so we can do some kind of Italy run. You just want your trains stations to be spread out, because we're entering the phase of the game where you're going global now. You're not just staying within your country. We do have the OE runs, which are you could do with just 2 trains, and that's because I did a great job of planning out the tracks. I've played this enough times that we do these shenanigans where we constantly, try to make the OE runs smooth like that. So everybody's going to get an OE run. Everybody. The trick now is we want to be able to run these big trains, and that's what keeps you winning the game. It's not just can you do an OE run. That's the first part of the game. Now you need to have tokens spread out around the board so you can run these larger trains without them interfering with each other, without reusing track. Okay, so Lawnmower is done, and they did their OE run. So they get a token, and so does DSJ. Okay, next up is Plum, who is now a national. Did Plum really get the 3 bump? They must have. So we're running our first national. I'm pretty sure that's what Plum is. Yes. So first thing to understand is... Oh, hold on. BHB. It's going to spend 150 and get a Pullman. So he gets 15 bucks. DSJ spend 150. He's also getting a Pullman. And Lawnmower spend 150, get a Pullman. So what the Pullman does is your tech level, which is 4, is going to get you $10 times the tech level of your best train. So if we have a level 4 train here, this is going to be giving him 40 bucks. It never counts towards your train limit. So once you get to tech level 8, this thing is going to be worth 80 bucks. So it's just extra revenue. So everybody's going to buy it if they can. And then this guy gets $15 every time one of these is purchased. So even though he's not going to get to run, he's making money right now. Just not money for him yet. Okay, back to Plum. We're on National with Plum. And what reminded me of it is Plum has one. So this is worth $30 right now for Plum. It's funny because they have a permanent Pullman, but they're not as good. Because they can't buy new trains. They can only buy rusted trains. They can buy trains from other players. So, like if Bell wants to buy a level 4 and sell it to them, they can. The National won't pay more than, I think, half of the value of the train. There's some rule for that. But anyways, let's get back to this. So this is a French National, and there's only one red zone. Red zones are nice because you don't have to do anything. They upgrade automatically, and you just get to count them. But he has a 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he needs 10 whistle stops and 10 zones. Algiers is one of the 10. So he needs 9 cities to dot, and then he needs 10 actual dots on the map. So here's what I mean. So this counts as 1. Here we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then technically this one's a 9. So, and that one's a 10. So he has 10 actual cities covered. But for example, we want to upgrade this. So we're going to upgrade this for 2. And he gets 9 points to upgrade stuff. And then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 whistle stops. So he actually needs, oh, here's the 10th one. But we're going to go ahead and add one here. So that's 3. And then from here on out, it's either covering towns or upgrading. So as far as towns go, there's one. This is considered Germany. There's one. There's only 2 towns that he hasn't even covered. So we're at 3 points. And they don't have to go anywhere, remember? So that's 4. And then this Nancy one. That's 5. Now what's dangerous is this looks like it might be German, and you can't tell. Very easy. But so we're at 5 points. And then we can even cover the whistle stops. Six. 7. 8. He's got one more point to spend. 9. Now, since he has enough coverage, he could have done some other things. Like, he could have helped MIDI bypass this with his 9 track points. He could have also plowed through these 2 mountains because they're on the French side. He can't develop anywhere outside of France, but he could have put tracks through these 2 mountains to help pave a way through. He could also do the same thing here with Spain. He could pay for this mountain here, which then opens the door to go into Spain. So those are other things that nationals can do. But you always want to make sure you can get your revenue. That's the number one thing. So like we said, 10 and 10. And then he's going to get to add another 30. So we just go through. So we got 1 for 40, 2 for 80, 3 for 120, 4 for 160, 5 for 200, 6 for 250, 7 for 280, 8 for 310, 9 for 340, and here's 10 for 370, and then he has 10 whistle stops for 470, and then he gets 30 more for this, so 500 is his payout. Isn't that crazy? So, you know, the way this game ebbs is the Nationals are going to make the most money at this phase of the game, but at the very end of the game, the majors will make more than the Nationals. Like the Nationals sort of, they get to a point and they make a certain amount, but they don't make that much more anymore. But anyways, there you go. So we had 4 shares of it, so he got $200. So now you want to own more shares of this bad boy, and Plum does go up, so you're gonna have to pay more for shares, even though the government owns it. So SFAI is next. There's nothing for him to purchase, by the way. So SFAI is up next, and we can help our Italian national to upgrade things with our track points. And these little whistle stops do become more value at the purple phase or the brown phase. So they do become worth 20. So you do want to upgrade them it's a long-term investment, but once you get to the higher phase, they are worth more. So we'll do these two for 4 track points. I don't care where these point, because we don't ever want to run through these two dicky towns. Alright, so we do that, and I want to lay a token. Same principle as before, and this is where, like, SFAI does want a token in Berlin, for example, or maybe this is actually the perfect place, because there is no OE run from here. So, where are you at? Yeah, so we're gonna pay $40 for a token, and we're gonna plop it right up here in St. Petersburg. That's a perfect place. And then we look at his train, and he has 1-3 train. Well, he can do that from here. He can go 1. We can go through here for 2, but we're going to go 1, and then 2, 3. Now, he could have put it actually in Constantinople and then reversed it to, like, Berlin or anywhere. That would also work. I'm thinking about it. No, I like it in St. Petersburg, because then we could always run a different run. Yeah. Let's keep it in St. Petersburg for the reasons that we did it for the other companies. So we're looking at 50, 100, 150, 180, 190, 200, 210. So a 210 run, not bad for a 3 train. Well, he's already done the this, but that doesn't matter. 210, pay full, and then we could buy another train, or we can buy a Pullman. We're buying another train, so it's 350. So we're gonna get a 4, and we're good to go. I don't have enough to get a Pullman, so we won't. This one comes with a free Pullman, by the way. So all I have to do is merge with him, and I'll get the Pullman for free. So yeah, he doesn't need to buy one. Speaking of which, actually, he does not come with a free Pullman. Never mind. He just sells them for money. Okay, SFAI is done. Then we have SFR, which is a national. We know it's going to move up, because nationals never... Well, they can, but... I mean, you have to really screw up a national to not move up a national. Like that last one just made $500. But not all countries are the same, but Italy should be good. So we are doing SFR right now. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one's only a 9 with a Pullman. And you can see we have 1. And there's only 9 cities. There is something, because when you have more than the amount of cities, you keep making money. It doesn't stop. That's buy train. National revenue, 36. So count revenue. You get 60 for every city that's beyond what you have in your country. So once you dot all of your towns, every town beyond that is worth 60. So this could be really lucrative. Now we do have some towns here. We said we have a 9, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you got 7, 8, 9. We're going to have to... And then this is 10. So we're going to have to do some upgrades here. So for 3 points, I can do this. And then for 3 more points, man, my spatial recognition is just poor. So that's 3 more points. And then I'll do 3 more points over here. There's the 9 points. And then I should have made sure I had enough whistle stops. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I only have 5 of them covered. I need to do 1. There's a double here. 2, 3, 4. I'm losing a little bit of revenue. I don't want to go back and undo these. Like I could remove the upgrades and use those extra points to get these extra dots. This is my bad. Okay, so let's do this. 1 for 40, 2 for 90, 3 for 130, 4 for 170, 5 for 210, 6 for 240, 7 for 270. I mean, I did need 2 of these. 8 for 300, 9 for 330. So I didn't need this one, so I'm going to go ahead and undo that. And I just forgot how much money I have. Always a good time. Well done, Jeff. There's 2 more. That was 2 points. And I got 1 more I can put down for 3 points. Alright, again. 40, 80, 120. That's 3. 4, 170. 200 for 5. 230 for 6. 270 for 7. 300 for 8. 330 for 9. And then that's so 330 for 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 330 for 9 plus 8 more. That's 410. And then we have a Pullman. 440. So he gets $264 for 6 shares. So that's how you do it. Get it done. Now, these other shares, I forgot, they are actually in the open market. So we should remember to do that. So you can go beyond 6 shares, but you have to pay double for the share. So all the nationals are out here. What other nationals do we have? Now, anybody else can buy the shares for regular price. But if you want to buy your own shares, you have to pay double.
Oh my fucking.
Now, the other problem with this is it might just be cheaper to buy somebody else's company. Because, DSJ is doing really well, so rather than paying double for your own, just buy a DSJ. It's that kind of concept. Okay, SFR is done. Great payout. It does move up, which we did. SB's next, and SB is another national. And it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's also a 9. And it tells you your numbers here. So once you get everything dotted, you can just add it up here. But you can see there's only 9 cities total. So you got to hit every one. And if I can get this above 9, I'm just going to start getting $60 a pop. And then there's 19 towns. So let's check out Austria. The borders sort of get covered up by the tiles, so be careful. Like these are considered part of Austria. So here's 1. There's 2. So we count the 9 towns. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's the 9th one there. And unfortunately, this one pays money. But let's cover up what we can. There's 1, because we got some whistle stops here. Here's another one. Two. Another one. 3. Then this one's just going to get bumped. Right, so we at least have all the towns covered. So we got 4 of them then. We should have 9 towns. Not all of them are upgraded. So that's 4 points. Now we got to worry about whistle stops. Italy border is right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We do have 9 of them covered. So we spent 4 points, so now let's start upgrading. So this would be 5, 6, and 7, 8. Okay. So begin. 80 for 2, 130 for 3, 160 for 4, 190 for 5, 210 for 6, 230 for 7, 250 for 8, 270 for 9, and then there's 9 whistle stops. So that's 360, and then 30 more for the Pullman, or 20 more for the Pullman is 380. So we didn't do nearly as well as, oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. That's not us. It's this guy. 390. So he only had 3 shares, so he only got 30% of that. But that's fine. And then as this upgrades more, and like I said, it's going to be $60 for each city beyond 9. So it's a really nice one for this. Okay. So SB moves up 1. And we got to do rightmost, highest value. So that means Mav goes next. Mav has not done an OE run. He has 1 3 train. Let's get her done. So Mav is here. Mav could easily just plop 1 in Berlin. I think that's the way to go. So he could also put 1 in Paris. Either one. I think Berlin pays better. So let's have Mav pay 40. Get a token out. This will help him do his OE run. And then he has to do a 3, so he can do a 1, 2, 3. So 50, 100, 160, plus 30 for 190, 200, 210, 220. $220 pay in full. He's going to take the stock bump of 1, 2, 3. He gets the token. And then he will buy a train for 350. And then he's going to buy a Pullman for 150 more, so 450, 500. So we're going to grab one of these bad boys. And then she's going to get to take $15 for a Pullman. I could have sworn that this miner comes with a free Pullman. I guess not. Alright, Mav is doing good. He's in good shape. Okay, next up is underneath Mav was Pob, which is up here. Pob has already done an OE run. He has a 3 train. He's hurting for money. He's got a Berlin thing. So we could lay another tile, but he needs another train first. Right now he has a 3, so he could do 60. 110, 160, 190. Oh, look at that. Mav has this. I didn't even check that. 190, 200, 210, 220. So he's at 220, but you know what? We should probably look for opportunities to get paid. You know, like this. First, let's do 220. He doesn't have enough to buy a train. And yeah, so we're going to do this, and then that's going to get him 30 bucks. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So that cost him 3 points. He can do it again, like here. So once again, that's going to get him another 30 bucks. And almost got him a train. But yeah. Boom, and then done. So there's a few more, right? We got like this one here. But yeah, just make the money when you can. Especially if you don't need to lay track anywhere. Alright, so he is going to go up 1. He already had his OE run. Yeah, so he just moves up 1. GWR is the next. And he has not done an OE run. He has 1-3 train. Let's figure this out. He can go 1. The problem is this is 2. But then, yes, he can do it for 3. So 60, 100, 150, 180, 190, 200, 210. And that does move him up 3. He gets a marker. We do want to pay for a token somewhere. I just got to figure out where. I'm thinking I want to do, like, up here's not a bad idea, or even here. And just because you can go London this way and start making some connections. But I sort of like this idea. So that way I can go to any metropolis, and then the London one can do its own magic. So there we go. So I don't have a hand showing here. All right. So we're going to pay 350, 450, 500. We're getting a 4 train. And we're getting a Pullman. So another 15 bucks for you. All right, next up. RCP. Okay, we have one of these tokens. RCP doesn't have access to... we can get to this port here, maybe. So that would be free, and then 2 would be free, and then, yeah, RCP can't do a run yet, I don't think. That was a 3 train. We could. 1. Nope. Nope. Can't do it yet. Alright, but we could lay some track. So we're going to do a 3 upgrade. Here's 3 points. And then technically he's not connected there. There's 5 points. There's 6. Okay, I only have a 3 train. I can connect to North Africa. RCP has these tokens. So for sure can connect to this. So 40, 80, 130. Yeah, 130. And then 140, 150, 160. I could have maybe done this for the 20, but 160 for RCP. That's pretty bad. Not even enough to buy a train. But if we buy some shares, he'll be able to. Next up, Lizard. Lizard has 1-3 train. So if we do 1, see the problem is Lizard's here, so if he does 2, I can't get into the speed train here. It's too far up. So Lizard needs to buy a token. For 40. And where's he going to put it? The big cities are gone. He's going to put it in Paris. That's perfect, because now he's got stuff on the opposite end of, the map. Alright, so with his 3 train from Paris, he can go 1 for 50, 100, 150, 180, 190, 200, 210. And I'm just looking to see if there's an easy way for him to grab one of these. Yeah, that costs money. You don't even get any money for grabbing that one. Wait, so 210. But before I forget my number. Oh. And yeah, he's going to pay 350. Get himself a train. Right, he has 6 track points. We have a Russian national now, so we gotta help. There's a lot of stuff. So it's painful to do this, or to get all these done. But we can, for example, upgrade this one for 2, and then this one for 3 more for 5. Call it a day. Maybe put another straight there. So, for example, we do that. Oop. I paid for the upgrade. Like so. So 2, 4, 5 points. I don't want to pay for this because that costs money. Or no, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. He spent all of his points. Alright, Mr. Lizard moves up. Next up is Bell. Oh, hold on. Lizard did his first OE run. So that was 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put it in a new pile. Bell, I think, is in the same boat. He hasn't done an OE run yet either. Bell can at least get to London, so he's okay. Bell has a 3 train, so he's okay there. I don't know if I want to put a token out. I need to get a second train. So, yeah, so 60, 100, 150, 180, 190, 200, 210 again. Yeah, not enough. So, I know this is out of order, but I mean, you could do the math ahead of time. I just don't want to because it is exhausting playing 8 players all by yourself. But now that I know I can't afford a train, I'm just going to put one out because you can only do 1 per round anyways. So we're going to take a spot and make our claim because we don't have one in a capital anywhere, right? So Bell is going to go here. It's the right move for Bell. So Bell does move up 1, 2, 3. So he's in this logjam up here. And then we have MKV next. Oh, gotta make sure Bell gets a marker. Don't want to give him credit twice. MKV has also not done a run. And he could buy a token for 40. Has a 3 train. MKV is stuck down in here. Oh, nope, he's got one up there. He's okay. So for a 3 train, he's just going to run through this on his way down to this, because this is now blocked. So we got 50, 80, 120, 170. That's a 200 run for MKV. I did do that right. 80, 120, 170. Yeah, I did it right. Yeah, nowhere close. Did I want to put another token out? Not really. Not at the moment. I did want to lay track though. So we're going to do this for 2. Ugh. I actually went this one, I think. That's the one I want. 2. 3. 4. Five. I actually don't have access to lay this track. I can't get through there. That might be good enough for government work. We can cover this one up for 6. There you go, 6. Alright, just helping out the National there. Okay, MKV moves up. 3, in fact. And gets his token. Alright, so now we got, these are in the hundreds. These go next, then him, then these guys, then him, and then those last. Alright, WW. WW is the National. So 3, 5, 7, 9. There's a lot of juicy reds. Tons of cities, but he's looking for a 9-9. We should easily get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's a 9. So we're fully upgraded there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we got plenty in that department. So one, 2, 3, 4, 'I'm technically not connected to this one. 5, 6, 7. I can't remember the rest. 6, 7, 8. 9. Okay, so this National is making 1 for 40, 2 for 90, 3 for 140, 4 for 190, 5 for 230, 6 for 270, 7 for 310, 8 for 350, and then 9 for 380. And he definitely has 9 whistle stops. That's 470. And then he has a Pullman for 30, so 500 even. They only got $100 because he only has 2 shares. This player is not doing it right. But that was a massive payout. And yeah, WW goes up 1. Alright, BJV. Another national. So we are at 8 and 8. So here you can see there's only 7, 8, there's 9 total cities. So we're at 8 and 8. And there's only 13 towns. So I could miss one town. We have all the towns upgraded except for this one. And I'm actually going to do something more unique here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whistle stops. Yeah, I'm going to need to beef up the whistle stops here. 6, 7. 6. I can do 7, 8. I mean, I actually do need to go down to these, so hold on. There's 9. Alright, so maybe this was a little premature, but 60 for 1, 110 for 2, 140 for 3, 170 for 4, 210 for 5, 240 for 6, 270 for 7, 300 for 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't have the 9th one, I guess, but I got 8 of them. So that's 380. And then 20 for the Pullman is 400. So not the 500 others got, but I have a lot of shares, so I got a decent payout for that. And these shares are also out here. Okay, so BJV goes up by 1. And then we're going to move OU 1 because I know they're going to make some money here. So we have a 3-3 for OU. OU is at least in Paris. They also have a London connection. So if I do a 1, I can skip this. I can hit that for 2. I can't go through it though. I could always hit this one if I need to. Because I have a token here, I could go through. I can also hit this Y. Anyways, we got a 3 here, so we're fine. So 60, 100, 150, 180. This is a 20 for us. So that's 200, 210. All right, and then I'm going to pay 500. Grab a Pullman. And grab a train. And I probably need to put a token out, but they are getting expensive for me. I do have 2 trains now, though. The Paris one, I probably won't be able to... The problem is where I'm going to put it. The really good spots have been taken. I mean, I could go here, because most of the Russia runs are going this way. So if I take Moscow, that could work. I'm actually thinking of doing this one. Thing is, I don't have access. Oh no, I do. Nope, I don't. These are dead ends. I can do down here. Oh, the Italy ones are always good ones. Yeah, let's do an Italy one. Go right here in Naples. Okay, we spent a lot of money, but that was a good run. And they already did their OU run. And see, we're on the shelf here. So I can only sell 5 shares. Two, three, four, five. I'm going to save 1 so I can buy it. But I'm going to sell all these shares to the open market. And so that's 4. Normally you would drop, but I'm on the shelf. 4 times 135. Which is 540. So I just got back most of my money. So that was a good move. That's the 60 strategy. Technically, you're supposed to do it down here, but it works just as well up there. The 60 strategy is the way. You go major right away, immediately, and then you hug the shelf, and you sell shares to get money for your company, and you boost it, and you're not going to get to 550. You're going to get somewhere around here, end game, but you make good money. And your company's run strong. I mean, we're sitting on 986. We're doing great. The Russia player could have ruined us. So that's how much the game hinges on one decision, right? OU is done. Now we're on this one. So KBS is next. KBS has 1-3 train. KBS is in a good spot. They have good stuff going on. So we do 1, 2, and then all the way down for 3. So 60, 100, 180, 190, 200, 210. Pay full. He has 450. He's at least going to be able to buy a train. Does he need a token somewhere else? Probably. Are we running out of places to put tokens? Yes, we are. I mean, he has one down here. No, we're fine. We're going to hold off. Okay, KBS goes up by 1. Now KSS, which is a national, our other national. So we might as well move it up by 1 as well. Now this is an interesting one. We got a 2, 4, 6, 8. Here you can see there's 13 cities, 14 cities. So we just need 8 and 8. Germany is one of the hardest ones to see the border, because like this one, that's actually on the French side. But we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There's a 4th one here. 5, 6, 7. So I need one more. I got 2 Y towns I need to do. So we're going to get 7 and 8 easy. So we're going to grab, I don't know which one to grab. Oh, these are not Y towns. We're just going to grab whatever we have the most of. Actually, this one we have to do. So that's 3. And then this one, six. We're going to do 7, 8. And then this one for 9. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Y towns. Oh, this one doesn't count. 1, 2. That one doesn't count either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Y towns. Still really good. So 5 times 4 is 200. And then this is 6 for 260. 7 for 290. 8 for 320. Oh, I only needed 8. That's right. 8 for 320, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. And then 8 more for 400, and then a Pullman for 420. That's a good run. I don't think I own as much of this one. Only 3 shares. Alright, so these guys are done. So now we got the 100 versus these, so we're going to do Chin next. Chin is going to get to do an OE run. Right now, in fact. So he's going to do a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So 50, 90, 150, 180, 90, 200, 210. And yeah, he's going to pay 350 for a train. And he gets the bump 1, 2, 3. Also, we want to spend some track points. Upgrade this for 2. nothing else. I mean, we could try to do a split or whatever, but it's not. The national can just, well, the thing is we don't have a national, so we'll do a split here. There we go. Alright, so Chin's done. He got his run in. He's in good shape. Next up is MSP. He should also get his run in with the 3 train. Alright, so I already moved him up with the assumption, because MSP's right here. We have a 1. We could go through here for 2, and then there for 3. So we're looking at 80, 120, 170. That's a 200 run, plus whatever track upgrades we can do. And then he'll pay 500. Oh, I don't know what just happened there. Oh no, what did I do? SFR was with SFAI. How did I take... SFR is still with SFAI, so how did I get this one? I'll just throw it over here. Grabbing a 4 train is what we were doing. And a Pullman. So let's also get a token out somewhere. Like, this is a great spot for MSP, or so is this one. So we'll go ahead and do Vienna. I mean, MSP is actually down here even. Alright, so that is done. Then between these two, GSWR goes first. GSWR is a national, so it'll move up. And he has a 4, 6, 8, 10. And you can see he has 6, 8, 10, 11 cities. It tells you right here, actually. Alright, so we're going to do... That's 2. We really do got to dot these. This is 4. Five, 6, 7. We have an 8. And a 9. Alright, spent those quick, didn't we? I have this to upgrade. There's so many. So we're at 10 and 10. So here's 1 for 40, 2 for 80, 3 for 120, 4 for 190, 5 for 250, 6 for 280, 7 for 310, 8 for 340, 9 for 370, and 10 for 390. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I lost count. Dang it. I should use a calculator. Every time I play this game and I do the math in my head, I'm always exhausted by the time I'm done. So, 110. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 9. That's right. We were at 370. And then we said we can only add 9 whistle stops instead of 10. 460. And we have a 4 train, so we get to add 40 for the Pullman. That's a cool 500. And he has 6 shares, so he made a good killing on that. So then we got MZA and MIDI. MZA should be able to do a run. With a 3 train. It's going to go 1, 2. This is paid for. MZA might be in a little bit of trouble. Because he has a 1 penalty there, so MZA would need to go here and can't. So MZA is not going to be able to do a run. Still going to make good money though. So 50, 90, and 40 more. 130. The whistle stops are still a problem. If I put a token here, I can go through, or I can go to Lisbon, but not through it. Ugh. Yeah, this is 1590, 130, and then 140. Man, MZA is doing horrible. No train and no token. But we need to buy shares. That's the issue. It does at least move up 1. And then our worst company in the game, MIDI. Always the worst. So MIDI is not on any of the metropolises. He has a northern token, but not a southern. And only a 3 train. So MIDI could do London, right? So London through here. So 1, 2. But again, MIDI is just blocked at every step of the way from being able to finish. Wow, this is a horrible company. Did MIDI at least put a token down here? Nope. There is... So here's interesting. MIDI could go here, which will block this, because some people were taking advantage of this as their extra train stop. But then MIDI can go from here for 1, 2, and at least do its run. Yeah, it has to do that. So he only has 110 bucks. Pay 40. Put out a token. Put it right here. I mean, this is bypassable. It just, people were counting this as one of their stops. So 60, 100, 150, 180, 190, 200, 210 for MIDI. He did get some decent money, but it doesn't get a train. MIDI is just a crap company. All around. Especially when you play with all the French. Like if MIDI was able to take a Paris location, it's a little easier. But yeah, current situation, no good. No good. I could give MIDI the D company, which would help. Because that also puts MIDI here and then lets it do OE runs that way. But it did do an OE run though. So MIDI does go 1, 2, 3 and is done. So that brings us to the end of the operating phase. I'm exhausted, so I'm going to take a break. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.